Welcome to Chapter 2, Episode 1, where we'll discuss how to fill and refill your water tank. The BMO, Beambox, and Hexa laser cutters use water as a coolant. This water should be replaced every 3 to 6 months. If you have a BMO, begin with the machine power off. Start by unscrewing the 6 small screws used to hold the back panel in position, and remove the panel to reveal the laser tube. Locate the brass hose clamps and use a pair of pliers to disconnect the hose. Be ready with a watertight container to empty out any water in the hose. Once the standing water has been emptied, blow into one end of the hose such that all the water in the system is pushed out of the other end. Be sure to hold the hose over your container to catch the water. Once you've emptied all the dirty water out of your laser cutter, it's time to refill. Use pliers to reconnect the hose with your hose clamps and locate the water tank, which is a small clear box with a screw top lid. Open the water tank using a screwdriver and use the funnel that came with your laser cutter maintenance kit to refill the tank with distilled water. When you believe the tank is 75% of the way full, turn on your laser cutter and navigate to the Maintain menu. Locate the Pump button, which turns on the water pump. Now that water is circulating through the laser tube, you'll find that you have more water to add to the water tank. Continue adding water until the tank is 75% of the way full, and turn on and off the water pump to circulate the water until it is clear that there is water throughout the entire laser tube. Replace the lid on the water tank and use the 6 small screws to replace the lid. If you have a beam box, the process will be very similar. Begin with the machine power off. Identify and remove the single screw on the back of the machine, holding the back panel in position. Also remove 4 screws holding a rectangular panel on the back of the machine. This is your water tank. Use a pair of pliers to remove a hose clamp and blow into one end of the hose to empty all water from the laser tube into a watertight container. Once the laser tube is empty, open the water tank using a screwdriver and use your funnel to refill distilled water into the laser tube. When the tank is filled to about 75%, turn power on and use the Maintain menu to turn on the water pump. Water will circulate out of the tank and through the laser cutter. Close the lid of the water tank and replace the 5 screws on the back panel. If you have a Hexa, the process will be fairly similar. Begin with the machine power off. Locate and remove the screws on the left and right to access the back panel, and the 4 screws on the back to reveal your water tank. Use your pliers to remove the hose tank and blow into the hose to remove all dirty water from your laser tube. Open up the water tank with a small screwdriver or a coin, and use your funnel to refill the tank with distilled water. Turn power on and use the water pump in order to circulate water through the laser tube. Ensure that water is fully circulated and the tank is filled to 75%. Replace the back panel and the water tank screws and you are ready to laser cut safely.